My name is Mario Turner with Amcal Multi-Housing, Vice President of Development. Let me start by thanking all of you for joining us today and welcome to the grand opening celebration of Mission Apartments. I'd like to start by acknowledging some special guests and elected officials that have also joined us. Let me start with Mayor Sanders over here, Council President Pro Tem Faulkner, Council Member Gloria, thank you. President CEO of the Housing Commission, Rick Gentry. I think we also have David Navarrete with TCAC, who flew down from Sacramento. David here. Anybody that I missed that maybe didn't acknowledge? Let me start with just very briefly a little background on Mission Apartments. This site right here was initially designed as market rate condos by the previous landowner. And if you could imagine, it had a subterranean garage right here, all concrete. And what we did in partnership with the Housing Commission and the Redevelopment Agency was essentially to redesign the whole project and convert it and take away that subterranean garage. Jerry Lola's there, he had some comments on that, and converted it to a wood podium tuck under design, making it far more cost effective and saving millions of dollars in construction costs. Today we have 85 apartment homes, 2 and 3 bedroom, 100% affordable to households earning between 50% and 60% of the area median income. This is also smart growth, transit-oriented housing. Workers can take advantage of mass transit and be in downtown San Diego in a matter of minutes. In terms of timeline, it took about 3.5 years to complete the entitlements, the financing applications, construction schedule, which is pretty typical for these kind of more complex urban infill communities. We're also happy to report it's 100% occupied today. So we're going to hear a little bit later from some of the residents as well. So now back to the agenda. It's my pleasure to introduce our first speaker, a big supporter of Mission Apartments, the mayor of the city of San Diego. Please join me in welcoming the Honorable Mayor Jerry Sanders.
Mario, thank you very much, and I'm honored to be here today for this important grand opening. And anytime we can open affordable housing, I think it's good for San Diego and it's good for our communities. Percy and the entire Amcal team have stepped up to address an important public need in San Diego, and that's affordable housing. With the elimination of redevelopment, projects like Mission Apartments have become even more important as we start to move forward. This is the second project completed by Amcal in San Diego. The first Los Vientos in Barrio Logan was completed a little over 2 years ago, and it helped replace underutilized industrial space and revitalize the Barrio Logan community. The site we're at today successfully transformed from a parking lot into a place where families can proudly call home, and that's 85 units, as Mario said. Mission Apartments has not only helped to contribute to the diversity of San Diego's urban core, it's also helped generate jobs for the region. This project created hundreds of construction jobs and hundreds of indirect jobs in retail, wholesale, and other sectors. I'd like to acknowledge Percy Vaz, CEO at, I'm looking around, there we go, at Amcal for his vision. Thank you very much. Withy Malcolm Architects LLP for inspiring the design. Thank you. The San Diego Redevelopment Agency staff for their assistance, and the San Diego Housing Commission, also Bank of America for helping with the funding on this and the long-term loan. So thank you very much. Congratulations on a job well done. Thank you, Mario.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. It's my pleasure to now introduce our next speaker, the representative for this community, District 2, who, frankly, without his leadership and without his support, this would not have been possible. Please join me in welcoming the Honorable Council President Pro Tem, Kevin Faulkner.
Thank you. Well, thank you. It's easy to help projects that make sense. And at the end of the day, I think that was an easy decision. It certainly was for me, and I know for my colleague Todd, and I know for the mayor. And I think it was one of those great projects where we said, how can you make it work by being creative and working not only with all the different entities of the city, but also the community. And I see neighbors here from our North Bay, Midway, and Mission Hills community who are very supportive of moving forward. And I just wanted to say congratulations on a job very, very well done. Thank you to AmCal, who really did it right, in my opinion. Rick, to you and your team, once again, always being creative, thinking outside the box, because money's everywhere. It's always easy to put these things together, right, Rick? And speaking of money, and I know Rick is here and Judy from Bank of America. And those of you, by the way, that watch KUSI, you saw them on bright and early this morning giving away a fantastic check to a very worthy foster family, a foster organization. Bank of America always steps up for a lot of great projects for the city of San Diego. Judy and Rick, thank you for everything that you continue to do. I want to thank the Multicultural Contractors Group. Ricky Lassiter's here. Whatever Ricky's doing, you know it's good. So Ricky, congratulations on everything, and of course the Las Palmas Foundation. So Mayor just said, not only was this about local jobs, 300 jobs, but it's really about the families that are going to be living here. 85 units. They're going to help transform people's lives. And that's why we're here to celebrate, particularly in these times, in this economy. And I don't think you can get a better definition of transit-friendly, transit-oriented development than right here, right through the pathway over there. So I just think it turned out wonderful. I do really love the courtyard here in the middle and the architecture. Great job, guys. This is going to be a project that all of us are proud of, but I think most importantly, as I said before, it's a project that provides the American dream for so many of our families here in this area. So thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Council President Pro Tem. It's my pleasure now to introduce our next speaker, who's very well known for being very active supporting smart growth, affordable housing throughout the city of San Diego. Please join me in welcoming the Honorable Councilman Todd Gloria.
Thank you, Mario. The mayor and Councilmember Faulkner covered it all, so I would associate myself with what they said. I might just make out a couple of different points. One would be, as you mentioned, this was a 3.5-year entitlement process. That's basically the time I've been on the city council. And so this project is actually really personally special because it's one that I've seen from the very beginning to the end. And I'm hopeful that we'll get to see a heck of a lot more of these in the years to come as the economy comes back and we see projects like this come into a community and hopefully do this a few more times down these blocks, right? We see some more activity in this community. And what I know from my time in affordable housing, and some of you know, before I was elected to the city council, I served on Rick's board as one of the housing commissioners at the city of San Diego. I care deeply about affordable housing. It's why I ran for office. And I know that much like it takes a village to raise a child, it takes a village to build affordable housing. You all were a part of that. But the component that I think, besides the money people, which is important, and the people who actually construct the thing, the people that are, the folks who I think are so critical in this are the community. And I know we have a number of our Western Slopes neighbors who are here. Guys, it's great to see you. It is not possible to do these unless you have community say, we want them. We're willing to have them in our community. And what I know is that affordable housing actually lifts up neighborhoods. It actually makes communities better. But sometimes there's an impression that that's not the case. What you all have done here, AmCal and everyone who came together to make this happen, you have fulfilled the promise we made to the community that this would be something that they would want in their neighborhood. Look at this design. Isn't it beautiful? It's absolutely gorgeous. It's something that you'd want in any community, and it's right here in District 2. I'm jealous. It's just on the wrong side of the fence, just barely. But I'm going to, if Kevin will let me claim like 10% of it, I'll take it. And why that's so important is that when you keep that commitment, when you follow through on that guarantee, folks will want more of it. I think that's really terrific. I want to thank AmCal and everyone who's involved for doing right by the people in this neighborhood, by giving us something that we can be proud of. And I hope that we can do many more of this, because as we know, Rick's got a long waiting list for service at his housing commission. About 30,000 families waiting for a phone call from his staff to provide the kind of help and support that they need to get their families moving forward. And so we're doing that today for about 85 folks, and that's great. Let's figure out ways to do a few more of these, because we need to do more, and I'm game to help you. So thank you all very much for letting me be here.
Thank you, Councilman. As I mentioned a minute ago, the San Diego Housing Commission was very involved at the very beginning, working with us in partnership on the redesign, providing very creative, complex financing to our community, this community, and this would not have been possible without the help of staff and the outstanding leadership of the President and the CEO of the San Diego Housing Commission, Rick Gentry.
Mario, thank you, and good morning, everyone. This is indeed a great day, and the Housing Commission is very pleased and very grateful to have been made a part of this partnership. And that's for any number of reasons, some of which you've already heard: the design, the location, the fact that it's a transit-oriented development literally next door to the railroad tracks, so that hopefully the people living here will be less dependent on cars than maybe they otherwise might have been. But for the Housing Commission, this represents part of a very creative financing plan that was set out 5 years ago and implemented over the last couple of years. And I'd like to just point that out to you in particular. The Housing Commission got the approval from the Department of Housing and Urban Development in 2007 to convert what were at the time our former public housing units to housing choice vouchers. Now that may sound like an esoteric distinction, but what happened by converting the subsidy from project-based public housing form to a family-based voucher form, we allowed those 1,366 families living in that former public housing choice on where they could live. We promised that we would backfill behind them with other eligible families. There's already some life behind us here, you can hear it. And third, HUD allowed us to take the equity in those existing properties, create debt, and from the debt create additional affordable housing. It's not quite a Loaves and Fishes story, but it's pretty close. What we did is we issued $95 million in debt in 2010. We just 2 months ago in September finished spending, or rather investing, that $95 million in additional properties which provide an additional 810 units of affordable housing in San Diego. And we spread the money that far because of partnerships like we have with Amcal, Mario, and other folks in town to help additional people in the city. We're very proud to be a part of this. We're very pleased to be a part of this, Mario, and thank you for having us here today. In closing, I'd also like to thank Debbie Ruane, who is the Senior Vice President of Real Estate with the Housing Commission, Jerry Lola, whose name you heard earlier, and the other fine staff I work with who do a great job making me look good, and the Housing Agency as well. Debbie, thank you, and Mario, thank you for having us here.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Gentry. I also see Ann Kern there in the back. Thank you, Ann, who was very helpful and involved. It's my pleasure now to introduce B of A, who was a fantastic financing partner on this project and provided multiple layers of financing: construction financing, equity financing, at ultra competitive rates. I have to emphasize ultra. I know it raised some eyebrows a few years ago. But I would like to invite Rick Bregman, who's the San Diego Market President with B of A, to say a few words.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. I'm going to go off script for a minute since Kevin Faulkner brought this up. There you go. But we've had an unbelievable morning this morning at Bank of America here in San Diego. Kevin mentioned this. We were able to start early this morning with an organization called Just in Time for Foster Youth, and we announced that they were our Neighborhood Builder Award winner for 2012. We were able to hand them a check for $200,000, and more importantly, we are able to take them, their executive director, an emerging leader within their organization, to some world-class national training to help them take their organization to another level. We followed that up by bringing 40 of our community partners together for a breakfast, and had the opportunity to actually make grants fundings of over $500,000 this morning. So it's been a fun day in the life of a banker, which is nice. It keeps getting better. Being here is a true honor for us, and I want to tell you we're thrilled to be here and to have helped in laying the groundwork for the North Bay's redevelopment and revitalization. This beautiful transit-oriented housing community was created with a vision of quality, convenience, and affordability. And now 85 families earning between 50 and 60% of the area median income can now proudly call Mission Apartments their home. There's a tremendous need for housing in this area, particularly affordable housing for the local workforce. including housing to serve the adjacent employment areas. But the Mission Apartments development provides so much more than affordable housing. There are other benefits to the community, such as on-site social services, community investment, and redevelopment taking place. Such an important project could never have been done alone, and I want to congratulate Amcal and tell you how proud we are to be your partners. You've put together a successful collaboration, which is really the way of the future, between public and private partners, including the Redevelopment Agency of the City of San Diego, the San Diego Housing Commission, and the California Community Reinvestment Corporation. For our part, Bank of America is a longtime leading provider of affordable housing finance. I just want you to know that our community development bank here through Charmaine Atherton worked closely with Amcal to provide nearly $22 million. It consisted of more than $12.8 million to purchase and hold the construction bond and nearly $9 million in low-income housing tax credit equity. Across the country, so far this year, we've done $855 million of lending, tax credit equity investments, real estate development, and affordable housing and mixed-use developments. Our strategy and commitment continues to be revitalizing neighborhoods like this through the creation of new, quality, affordable housing. We do this through our great partnerships. And again, to you, Percy, and to Amcal, we just want you to know how proud we are to be your partner. Thank you for having us today.
Thank you. There's another important private financing partner here with us that I failed to mention. California Community Investment Corporation. Mark Niles, I think, is here. Thank you, Mark. If you want to speak, do you want to say a few words, or you're?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
You know, I think it's pretty much been said. This is a beautiful project, a lot of vision.
Great, thank you again. And as part of our community outreach, one important item that kept surfacing a number of times was the importance of jobs, and in particular, local jobs. And let me just say, I mean, doing that in a significant, meaningful way is a very, very difficult task. And thank you to all the help from Reverend Laster. We think that was possible. I'd like to invite him now to come up and say a few words and to thank him personally for all the hard work.
Thank you, Mario. Good morning. I want to thank Council Member Faulkner for those kind words that he had for me this morning. It's an honor and a privilege to be a part of this project. I've been on a lot of projects in San Diego, and one of the things that I found out when it comes to trying to help women and people of color be on a project, and when the owner wants to see diversity on the project, it comes first with a owner that is willing to make it work and not just give lip service. A lot of people say they want to see diversity, and a lot of people say they want to see women and people of color working, but it really is the will of the owner to really make it happen. And so from the very beginning, Mario and Amcal allowed me to sit down with the bid instructions and help put language in the bid instruction that would actually help contractors come together to where we could do joint ventures and mentor-protege relationship building with smaller contractors and with some larger contractors that was able to come and do this work here. And then they also hired me to do the local hiring piece as well. They had an aggressive goal of 35% local hiring that they wanted, and we were able to achieve 42% local hiring. And so that needs that's pretty good. And so I am just thrilled and honored that they would allow me to be a part of this wonderful project. And I want to thank Amcal and all the project managers and leaders that we work together to create opportunity for women and people of color. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part.
Thank you again, Reverend Laster. Next on the agenda is our nonprofit partner, Las Palmas Foundation. We're very fortunate to have a very strong local and active partner, very involved in this project and very helpful with Las Palmas. I'd like to invite now Naomi Pines, the project manager with Las Palmas, to say a few words and to thank her again.
I thought about pretty carefully whether or not this would be an appropriate thing to say. And I feel that you will all understand me when I say that we're very proud that this is our 7th San Diego County building, that we're now housing over 2,000 families and seniors. But I do have to say while I'm standing here today, this is my favorite. And I would love to tell you a little bit about why that is. It's not just because it's near good food, although people who know me know that that could sway me in that direction. And it's not just because of the beautiful color palette and the porch balcony rails that also provide sun shading device. It's not just because of the LEED status and just how spectacular this building looks, both in its particular environment and the fact that it doesn't look like traditional affordable housing, but a really high quality market rate. It's also because of the partners that we got to work with on this project. In particular, AmCal, our 14th building with these truly creative, tremendous partners. Our spectacular project manager, Keisha, who just came down here on the train sometimes, right? Just because it's transit-oriented development and accessible that way. And our financing development, local partners that really put their heads together and their minds together to make this happen. We are incredibly proud of this building, but what's more important to us is to watch this transformation to the community become an actual community of its own. We really hope that you'll include us in the events that you host here. And despite the fact that the development team and the finance team and the city is proud of this building, what's most important to us is that the residents are proud of this building, that the residents are proud to live here, proud to show people where they live, that it helps them in some way enable their lives to blossom and grow and raise their children somewhere safe, near good food. Did I mention that? Yeah. And we really appreciate all of our partners and being included on this project, and we look forward to visiting it for many, many years to come. So thank you all.
Thank you, Naomi. You know, speaking of market rate, I'll just mention this. Talking to leasing staff this morning, they talked about how the building was fully leased up as of August. So a few months ago, there's already a waiting list. But most of the calls they received very early on were folks who wanted to buy a unit. They thought these were condos, and we just said sorry. You know, these are not for sale. Now, moving on to closing remarks. It's now my pleasure to introduce our leader here at AmCal for over 30 years now, almost 35. I think next year it'll be 35 years. The founder and the CEO of the company, Percy Vaz.
Thank you, Mario. I can't tell you how exciting it is to do this second grand opening in San Diego. We hope to do many more in the years to come. And for that, I want to thank all of you, first of all, to joining us here this morning, and to particularly thank the City of San Diego, the Mayor, Councilman Faulkner, Councilman Gloria, Mr. Gentry, and the entire team, both external and internal. Internal to Mario, who drove the acquisition of this, and to Keisha, the project manager, and the entire AmCal team that's behind them, supporting them on the various facets of development. Our financial partners, B of A, thank you. Charmaine, it's good to meet you for the first time. So for that, I don't have too much more to say and add, other than this turned out to be a great looking project, and we are proud and excited and delighted that it turned out the way it did, and thank you for that.
Thank you, Percy. And as Percy mentioned, Keisha Boulware was the project manager. I want to say a special thank you to her. She worked she worked tirelessly to make sure we were on time, on budget, and delivered a very high quality community. So thank you very much, Keisha, for that. We may have a few more thank yous. I'm not sure. I don't have the whole list here. I do want to thank, before I forget, I failed to thank him a few years ago on Los Vientos. We have our trusted real estate attorney, advisor, Jim Daw. Thank you, Jim. Who's here in the audience. Been with us for quite a few years now. Keisha, I don't know if you want to say a few more, or.
Good morning. As it's been said, it does take a village. We've got a great team at AmCal, so I just want to say thank you to Pui Buell, the assistant project manager, John Severino from the construction team and his assistant, Not here today, Dana Ranger, our marketing guru, Mark Welk from the asset management team. Hi, Mark. Darcy Westman from accounting, and internal, the executive management team is always there to support us and help us to, as Mario said, be on time and on budget. And all of our great consultants from architecture with Withy Malcolm. It's always a pleasure to work with them. We've got Shelley Collier here who helped us achieve LEED Gold with this development. Leopard Engineering with civil. So it does take a village, and just want to say thank you to everyone for helping us.
Thank you, Keisha. And again, thank you again to our architect. I know we have Dan Withy here with us, and in particular, Ricky De La Rosa, who I think just took a real personal interest. And I think he said recently this might be his favorite project. So he comes down here a lot and takes pictures. And so thank you, Ricky, for all your hard work on that. In closing, I do want to thank all of you again for attending. And just please stay with us, enjoy the good food, and look forward to celebrating some more. Thank you.